What happened, Bob?
At about 6:10 p.m. tonight, firefighting crews responded to a report of an apartment fire in the high-rise behind me at 100 Main Street East. First arriving crews found a well-involved apartment fire and heavy smoke in the hallway on the 16th floor. At that time, the alarm was automatically upgraded to a second alarm to bring in additional crews. Once the firefighting efforts were started, because of the high heat conditions within the building and the high heat conditions outside the building, it went to a third alarm, but that was just to bring in additional crews again for immediate relief for the initial firefighting attack, and also bringing in our Box 43, our canteen truck.
How many crews are on scene total?
That's a good question.
12.
I haven't done it.
12 it said on the portal.
12 sounds about right.
What were some of the challenges that were unique to this building and this fire?
Any high-rise building has its own unique challenges. This one here, because of the smoke in the hallway, heavy smoke in the hallway, and a high heat fire within the apartment unit, that was the initial difficulties that firefighting crews faced.
And any injuries?
There was one tenant in the apartment unit at the time of the fire. He was able to self-evacuate prior to the arrival of the firefighters.
And no injuries to firefighters?
No, we have no injuries to firefighters or other civilians reported.
Any idea of the cause at this point?
No, it's a heavy damage within the apartment unit. Once things are all cooled down, we're going to get in and take a look and see if we can determine the cause.
Did the fire stay contained within one unit?
We were able to contain the fire itself to one apartment unit. There was some minor water and smoke damage to some adjacent units.
And in terms of water pressure, did you have any difficulties, or did all the systems work?
I haven't heard any problems on that regard.
People being evacuated?
Sorry?
Sorry.
How long do you figure you'll be on scene with hotspots and stuff like that?
The hotspots are pretty well taken care of right now. We're just doing a little bit of overhaul and taking a look to determine the cause. Possibly in the next hour or two, we'll still be on scene.
What about the road closure?
Road closure, as we're able to minimize this response and send crews back, we'll of course free up some of the laneways to get the roadway open as soon as possible.
Smoke damage to neighboring apartments?
Minor smoke damage through the interior hallways and some of the adjacent units.
How many people do you expect are going to be displaced? How many units?
So far, the only person that has been displaced is the one occupant from the fire unit itself.
So are you letting people back in? Because I've always spoken to some people that say they can't go in yet.
Yeah, until the situation is totally safe, we will not be allowing the residents to re-enter the building.
Even though there are some that are in, that have stayed in the building.
Those ones that's already been determined, we've been checking a lot of other apartment units, especially in the immediate area around the fire unit, checking on those tenants, and they are safe to stay in place at this time.
Any location where the fire started within the apartment?
I haven't got any information on that within the unit itself.
Are you looking to call the fire marshal?
Not at this point, no.
Any damage estimate?
No, but damage, from what I hear, the damage will be extensive, especially to the fire unit itself.
Any tips to high-rise apartment building dwellers? Did people evacuate properly? That type of stuff?
Haven't heard any issues on that, so that's a good thing because you only hear the negative parts of it. But if you do live in a high-rise apartment building, it's always safe to know the emergency procedures within your building. Read them, know them, so you know how to react properly in a fire situation.
And the squad that's on today, is this the same squad that was on for the multiple alarm Friday?
No.
Anything suspicious at this point?
No, nothing suspicious at this point. We have not even been able to get in to take a look at it yet to determine the cause.
Anything else that you would like to add?
No, I think for at least at this point, it's going to cover it.
So you'll be on the scene most of the night?
I'll probably be here for another half hour, 45 minutes at least. And as long as it's winding down and things are going normal, then I'll be heading off there. So now the only thing I'll need before I leave is who am I dealing with here? Obviously CH.
Yeah.
CH, Spec.
Thank you.
Joey.
Adam from 16. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, Bob.
So that was fire spokesperson Bob Simpson. He's asking us to move back, so 1 second and I'll give you a summary. So once again, just to summarize what fire spokesperson Bob Simpson just told us, fire crews were dispatched to the scene at approximately 6:10 p.m., where they found the fire well involved, very high intensity of heat, both internal to the fire and external. They immediately upgraded to a second alarm response, at which point Because it's an apartment building, that becomes a multiple alarm response. They brought in additional crews to keep rotating firefighters to have the extra manpower because of the heat. There are no injuries in this fire. The heat was very intense within the unit, so he expects the damage will be very extensive to the unit itself where the fire occurred. There is some water damage to the units nearby and some smoke damage as well. At this point, they have not determined the extent of that in neighboring apartments. There is one unit where the tenant is displaced, and the rest of it they're just working to figure out right now. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to end the live video coverage and return back or stay on scene and see if we can get an update. But then I'll head back to my office, write a story. Thank you for watching.